strive in each and every way to be better, I think that's what sets you apart. When you wake up in the morning and you're confident and you're happy and you don't have any regrets, fear's dust, man. Fear's gone. Fear isn't a part of your life. Having faith in who you are and what you're about is important.
He doesn't get on a bucking horse, he addresses it. He doesn't ride a bucking horse, he performs with it. How many 90-point rides has he had? How many more will he share? This is a champion's champion. Yes, he wanted to be like his daddy, wanted to be a cowboy. You don't have to be big or tough. You have to be willing to be right. And if I'm gonna pick one adjective, simple one, we use the term every day, Kaycee Feild is right. His dad, phenomenal. His mother, absolutely beautiful. His lifestyle, nearly crippling. And to think about all the things that he did, all the precious moments, belt buckles and money that he won. And then to have a sidelining injury. What brought him back?
Kaycee came with determination.
What matters is the relationships we create with our family, with our friends, and what we give back to other people. You have the perfect storm. I don't know how you get any better at what you do than Kaycee is at what he's done. And I think, you know, just like a storm, to have the perfect storm, you got to have a lot of things fall into place and happen at the right time. And if you take my parents and who they are and what they instilled in us as kids, then I think it's really easy to see why Kaycee is the way he is and who he is, because you got my dad, who was probably the most humble champion that I've ever met in my life. And my mom's a humble person too, but she's very outgoing and full of crap and spunk. And then you throw on another level from both of them about being fearless. I mean, none of us are scared of much. I don't know if you'd call it adrenaline junkies or what you call it, but we're not really afraid of many things. What's cool is Kaycee's been able to channel all of that. His humility, but yet knowing who he is and knowing the champion that he is. I think the power of your mind is so incredibly strong, and Kaycee understands that maybe as good as anybody I know.
Tenacity. That's Kaycee. Kaycee was a dream child. Kaycee came with determination. He knew from a little age what he wanted to be, focused and determined, and he accomplishes. And if he sets his mind out to it, he can get it done, he can achieve it, he gets it. Every time I would video him when he was little, I would say, "Okay, tell me your name." And he would say, "I'm Lewis Feild, 5-time world champion." The way Kaycee is with his kids is the same way Louie was with our kids. And Louie took him all the time. Took him to a rodeo. He would take him in diapers. He never batted an eye. He wouldn't change a diaper. He'd always get somebody else to do it. His buddies, his rodeo partners.
I really believe that when you go to talking about the Feilds family, that you need to think about the setting, the environment that they come from. Western way of life, try, gentle, electric.
I encouraged everything, and I was never fearful for him. I just knew he could go do it. I would always tell them, all the kids, he who fears failure, fears success. Find something that you love and try to find a way to make money at it. And they all have.
That was my mom and dad from a very young age. You are a winner. You are great.
My dad went through a lot of different jobs, different professions, and they gave us the opportunity to try everything. Bottom line is find happiness. Somehow they found a way to make us happy, and they were always happy. They went through some hard things. They were always happy. And even through my dad being sick, happiness is just always there. So I think things might seem heavy and hard, but always find happiness, always look to the bright side, that usually things aren't as serious as you think they are tomorrow. They seem heavy today, tomorrow they're gonna be lighter. I kind of think that that was the example they set for us, was just looking back on our childhood, it was just happy.
What we really wanted is to know that family was the most important thing above all. And recognizing that our blessings are a gift from above, and appreciating it, and put God first in your family and others, and the rest will follow. It's pretty simple. Life is pretty simple. There's nothing hard about life. You don't have to dissect every little thing. Just know those few principles, stick to them, stand for who you are, and the rest is there.
Love is not just hugging and kissing and cheering and all having dinner together, never getting in an argument. Love in this family is when you're not with them and you know that you're loved, and they know you're away, but you love them. This comes from both sides of this family coming together to create this family. When Kaycee lost his daddy, he lost the physical being. It's very difficult. I remember when I lost my dad or my mom. It's a whole transformation that even though we are supposedly prepared for it, we're not ready to accept it. If you have love, you have faith. If you had the beginning, you have a future. If you had time that you spent with them, you have reason. And this is what I pray for children today, is to be loved. He loves his children. The Feild family. There's a lot of kids in Kaycee's generation. He picked his deal, went for it, following in his father's footsteps. He also knew, losing his father at a very young age, he wasn't gonna have him to go to. Dad, what'd you think? Dad, did I do good? Dad, what did I do wrong? Dad, why does this hurt? Because his father was so embedded in his soul that he, and I'm a big believer in this, it's the Holy Spirit and communication of those that we lose that you can maintain connection with. And I know that Kaycee and Louie have that heavenly bond.
I think we all have these expectations of the way we want our life to be. When things get in the way, Kaycee's had plenty of times where it would have been real easy for him to roll over. You know, obviously the passing of his father was incredibly hard. Even when his dad passed away, you couldn't get him down. Like, he's just a champion all the time, 24/7 he's on. He's consistent, you know what I mean? He's just got that drive. Doesn't matter if he won the rodeo, it doesn't matter if he lost. His mood doesn't depend on his winning streak. His mood doesn't depend on, you know, whether he had a good ride, a bad ride, a good draw, a winning streak, a losing streak. He's always the same.
Faith, we discussed that. Father's strength, image, mindset of watching his dad go through that. And in those years of knowing that his dad was ill, I don't ever remember seeing Kaycee be out of line. He's got a laugh that's contagious. Clean cut, just to the point he needs to be, but righteous for his family. So if he's right, it's easy for him to be righteous. So you take it on down from grandparents to parents to this generation. Here's what Kaycee Feild's got on top of everybody else. Everybody will say, well, the judges like him. Hell yes, they like him. The dude can ride. No wasted motion, no hot dogging. I might have seen him throw his hat, probably dropped it more than anything else. Maybe once or twice, see him take it off. And I'd see him walk back alongside of an arena, whether it be San Jose, California, Cheyenne, the Calgary Stampede, or at Reno, or at the NFR. And he always had time as he's untying his glove and unbuckling his chaps to look through the fence, make eye contact, knuckle bump, shake a hand, or give a thumbs up to a child. And this is what I have tried as a rodeo announcer over the years, not just in Louie and Kaycee, but in other young men that I know fit the same mold. And so many of them do. It's my job to tell the name, the hometown, and the score. I want them to know as much in the background of their families to know that they are just like all of you.
Kaycee's parents probably told him the same little secret my parents did at a pretty young age, is that, you know, the sky's the limit as long as you're not scared to work hard and give it everything you got.
To truly be great, you have to turn everything loose and let the chips fall where they may. He lives in his own world. He's that guy that can think things to happen and they happen.
His mindset is already there. Where somebody else has a really good horse, a really powerful horse, they've already been beat. Doesn't matter if Kaycee has the worst horse or the best horse. In his mind, he's already winning. He sees it in his mind before he gets to the rodeo, and he's already number one. His mindset is so advanced when it comes to being positive and being a winner. When it comes to fear, there's two things you can do. You can run from it, or you can look it in the eye and take it head on and use it to your advantage, and that's what I think Kaycee does.
How else are you going to be great at something if you don't want to be? And that's Kaycee. He was born to do this, and he's always wanted it. I feel like you can't make a world champion. Definitely something you're born with. This is a job, even though it's 8 seconds at a time, it's a week at a time. It's 14 days sometimes here and there.
Kaycee's now tied the record for the most world championships won in our event and has gone into a league with the greatest guys in our sport. He's still young. I'm sure he's still got another one in him. In my mind and a lot of people's minds, he's in a league of his own, that's for sure.
He sees it so different than everybody else sees it.
The confidence that he has to go out and win isn't from just knowing that he can win. It comes from being the first guy up and the last guy to bed, doing those extra push-ups. Every single minute of his day revolves around winning. I guarantee he rides 100 bucking horses a day in his mind. And during the finals, it's probably hundreds. No, I don't think he has the fear of losing. I just don't think he has any other option but to win.
Winning was never easy. It never has been easy. There's things that are tougher if you make them tougher. Winning can be hard if you make it hard. But if you are a winner and you believe that you are a winner, it makes winning pretty easy.
Kaycee learned that from a very, very young age there was nothing to be scared of because he was in such good control. He never learned a bad habit.
You get to a point where you think, I compete in a really dangerous event. I'm good enough that it's not that dangerous for me. And it really puts into perspective how dangerous it is what we do. And when you see things happen like that happened to Kaycee, it makes you really start respecting the game a little more. If that can happen to Kaycee, it can definitely happen to any of us.
You earn confidence like you earn grace. Injuries like this are devastating, not just to the person it happens to, but to siblings, wives, kids, parents, grandparents. The last thing that cowboys want is sympathy. Empathy can be accepted. Understand that he watched his dad drag himself out of that arena as a child, and as a young man, and as an oncoming cowboy, remembered what it was like to have hurt. People say, well, it's self-inflicted. Oh, no, it's not.
There's nothing wrong with a little noise before the ride. The man crawling over the chute's the #1 bareback rider in the world today, right now. Kaycee Feild, a 4-time champ of the world, and a horse called Killer Bee. This horse is selected 3 times as the bucking horse of the year at the National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas.
What life brings of the unknown, I forgot it. It shows in my goals and it shows in my rodeo records that I just went through life just because everybody else worked out, I worked out. Just because everybody else entered that rodeo, I entered that rodeo. That's not the way to live in any perspective of life, whether it be rodeo or family or whatever it is. I think I have an understanding of who I am and what I'm about, where I'm going, and it speaks loudly about how I go about life. Life's short. Bareback riding is really important to me, where I'm at in my life, and I know that I won't be able to do it forever.
Someone asked, do you think he's ever going to ride again? And I never considered that he wouldn't if that's what he wanted to do. And if he didn't ever ride one again, he never had anything left to prove to me. I knew as long as Kaycee could walk out of there and go hug his family and take care of his kids and his wife, that life was going to be fine for him. I also knew that if he set his mind to coming back to riding, that he'd do exactly what he's done.
I knew that he was struggling for so long, not having his dad to rely on. But I'll tell you who the rock star was his wife, Stephanie. Because I think that saying that behind every successful man is a great woman, and she is a walking example of it. I thought, how in the world is he doing this? He needs to grieve and feel. He wasn't feeling anything, and I do think it affected his riding for just a little bit until he finally let it go. He came up to my house to turn out some horses. When I went out there, I knew that I had to go out and tell him that it's okay to just let go. And I can remember the sob that he let out. And I feel like that was a turning point for him in this last part of his career and leading up to this championship. It was a tough one to do it without his dad.
What's it like to be a champion? Lonely? Those that are humble. Those that don't last on and on and on. When you make a comeback from an injury like he has, and then come to a whole new operation in Globe Life Field, rather than Las Vegas, where they have a comfort zone, and you win it again. I watched it, the seesaw, him and Timo, every night. One would fall back, one would gain ahead. One would get up, the other one would get up to him. Greatest mindsets of two men and great friends.
You're gonna go through some ups and downs, and Kaycee's human. Just like he'll go through a time where he might not be riding the best. I think when you can fight through those times and come back to being, I'm the best there is, inside anyway, you'll never hear him say that. And I would never say that. But I promise you that he believes that he is the best bareback rider that's ever lived and ever will live. He believes it. And I think to get to that level takes a special person.
Finally, when he started the real grieving process instead of fighting it, because he's so tough, and I think that mentality of his competition, everything made him that tough guy, that it was hard for him to soften. But the second he softened, that spirit was able to overcome him, and he could feel Louie's love. And I truly believe that Louie has been riding every horse with Kaycee, and especially that last horse at the NFR for that World Championship. I knew it was in there. He said it ever since he was a little boy. I'm Louis Field, 5-time world champion. You know, it was his dream, and he put that energy, that positive energy out there from 2 years old, and he's accomplished it. Kaycee's not done, no. This has lit a fire under him. Do I think he's gonna go for a 6th world championship? It's his decision. And I knew that he would win 5. Is there a 6th? I don't know.
My first 5 world titles were in honor to my hero, my dad. Going after number 6 is an honor to myself. The mindset I have is only created by breaking through my own barriers. This is where my legacy begins.
Trying to push myself, I'm trying to innovate new ways, trying to bring new eyes to bareback ride, to the sport of rodeo, what I love so much, and the things that I dream of and want to accomplish. You know, I don't know if I will accomplish them, but I am going to try, and people will remember these goals. It won't be a world title, it will be a cool thing that I've accomplished. I'm going to continue doing great things.
Innovators only come around every once in a while. People that really push the boundaries. I was traveling up to some rodeos with Kaycee, driving in the middle of the night, and he says, "Matt, I want to do something no one else has ever done before. I want to get on a bucking horse out at the Salt Flats. Nothing but a buck and shoot and a couple pickup men." Of course, he wouldn't just pick any old horse. He picked 2-Buck Chuck, one of the best bucking horses ever gone down the road. And he's going into unknown territory. This is just a natural stepping stone in the evolution. There's no fence. There's no safety net. Just total faith and trust in your buddies and the pickup men. Kaycee's not scared. I'm not convinced that Kaycee even chose to do this. This may have chosen Kaycee. This is beautiful. This is something I know his dad, Louie, looking down in heaven and smiling, laughing. Look what Kaycee's done.
It didn't come easy for him. You know, there was a lot of ups and downs. You know, it wasn't national high school champion, or I don't think he was even a state champion. Yeah, he wasn't even a Utah state champion high school bareback rider. But I could see that through some of them times in high school and stuff that his desire was there. The skills weren't quite there yet, but they were coming. And then in college, you know, I could see that the skills were coming, the desire was there, and he was serious about this, and he was going to do great things. You know, so I've been really proud of Kaycee on the way he's handled himself around the rodeos and the way he treats other people.
What kind of dreams do you have?
Be a world champion. Make it to the NFR.
Kaycee's desire, as he told us back in 2005, is now a reality. He is now a world champion, just like Dad.